CMC, for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens movement for change. Oh yes, a new day has come. Yes, a new day has come. Rise up, Liberia. CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. Equity, national unity, transparency, accountability, social justice, integrity. CMC core values. CMC Global. It is a new day for Liberia. It is a new day for the people. Let's all together. Let's all together. It's a unity. Raise up your hands. CMC. The land of liberty, the land of freedom, the love of liberty brought us together. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, yes, 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 the time has come.
Hi, Mr. Namwe.
Hey, Dr. Richardson, how are you?
I am doing well. Let me see how I can fix this to get us both in here together. Okay, good. I think there were others in the back. Let me just check to make sure.
Smith called me about 5 minutes or so. He's running late, so.
Okay, great, great. At least he called someone.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, so that's good. So how are you doing today? How was your Friday? I know
wet day, but it was okay. A little bit warm in the 50s. So yes, it was great. How was yours?
Well, I stayed home today because we were supposed to be traveling
today. Travel, right?
Yes, and I'm also on break from school, so I have plenty of time. Not a lot of money, but plenty of time.
You can't have both.
Yes, well, some people do have both in this world, but I will accept what I am.
Absolutely.
But so but it was nice having hubby at home as well, because all of us were supposed to be traveling together, so he took some time off.
Yes.
So but it was just good. It was good. Did a lot of CMC work. I'm telling you, this thing that I signed up for, hey. You're not you so hey.
I know. I think you work, and thanks to AB and the family for allowing you giving of us to take some of the family time, but we appreciate it. Again, thank God that you're married to a guy who understands the struggle. I think he understands the assignment. And so I've hung out with AB. He's the coolest, classiest guy.
You called your name yesterday. You started laughing.
Oh, yeah, really? Oh, but let me pile it on.
He watches this show.
No. I'm very serious. I don't think he even worried that you are here with. I think this is what he wants you to do. So I want to thank you. Sometimes we take this for granted. We appreciate the fact that even when you're not on the show, you're in the background, and doing all of this. So thank you very much. I myself, was supposed to travel, but once we, decided to convert the format, and since I'll be traveling soon, I said, okay, but then let me try and conserve some of my days. So I work today, but it was okay. It's a Friday, you're looking forward to Saturday, all of that. So I'm glad to be here. I'm sure you have a lot on your agenda. The president finally sat down with the press today and said nothing. You know,
But yeah, I wanted
almost
us to have a
almost 2 hours.
conversation. Yes, have a conversation about that. If you just join us, we want to welcome all of you. First of all, I
Yes.
see Ayoba Critical Kaba. He says, Happy weekend to you all. Thank you so much for your greetings. We appreciate that. And he says, CMC 2029. Yes, we all must work very hard. This is an
Absolutely.
uphill battle. Our country is, in a state where we need everybody on deck, and we have to continue to press on harder. He also said, ha ha ha, really, Dr. Francine Chinner Richardson? I don't even know what you're laughing about, but it's okay.
Oh, man.
It's all good. Thank you. And then Silva Washington is also watching from Burrillville City. We promise that it's going to be a very interactive and engaging show. So Smith Toby is supposed to moderate, but as you know, Mr. Naman are here. Again, we all are capable. We have learned to be just capable of jumping in whenever we can. So we'll be here holding the floor until he comes in. But I want to give them a few minutes, Mr. Naman, so we can just kind of, even though we're here until 1:30 Liberian time, 8:30 American
Okay.
time, so we can just chit chat a little bit and see who rolls in, because we're going to talk about the president's address to the nation by way of ELBC today. I kind of listened to it spottedly, didn't really, I couldn't focus on all that he was saying for good reasons we shall discuss here. But I saw some people, we have clips of some of the things that he said, and I saw other comments about it. It's kind of easier for me to read sometimes than for me to listen. So yes.
Yeah.
But short of that, how's Mrs. Namwe doing?
Mrs. Now we just walked in. I thought you heard the rockers. I had on mute, but she just she just walked through the door. But she's okay. Thanks for asking. As you know, we live in a few days, so she's busy, and then it
I
rained.
can
Didn't do her
imagine.
any favor today, but yeah, she's okay. Thanks for asking.
I can imagine.
Yes, and I myself, I was unaware of this conference just like you. I started, people started tagging me, and apparently everybody was concerned with the FOIA project and how the president did not, for some reason, uh, did not provide any clarity. If anything, he made it worse. And so that's what had me. I had to go and quickly skip to that part,
Yes,
and so I listened to, yeah, I did
I
listen
have
to,
the video of that. So
yes, yes.
we'll
So,
play for the Liberian people
yeah,
to hear. And I want you guys to know that in as much as we will tell you what CMC is doing, some of the positive things that we're doing, some how we are changing the direct trajectory of politicking in Liberia. We are meeting our people and changing things. And we'll tell you that here, but we also want you to be open minded. We want you to be objective and also select CMC because we're doing something completely different. We are in the opposition, but we're doing something different. So I want you to play. I am going to play
yeah.
what the president said today, and we'll take a pick at it. I was just kind of giving, maybe give us about maybe 5 more minutes, see who's going to join us,
Okay,
because I want them to be a part of this conversation. I
okay,
also have, I wanted Mr. Toby to be here because I don't know if you covered this. It was in our chat room today with our PL was busy in Nima today.
yes, yes,
So he was again doing humanitarian work, working
yeah.
for the people of Liberia.
In a
Uh,
district that is not even his district.
oh, really? Yeah.
He was in District 8, yeah,
Yeah,
Yamasuna.
that's true. So yes, I do have pictures. I did see pictures But I wasn't like I didn't fully read, and it was in the chat room. I did
Okay,
collect.
we can do the picture that, but I think there's a little audio in our chat. Well, if it's okay, we can do the pictures.
Okay, I am
Yeah.
actually, I would like to. So if you give me some time as you're
Yes.
talking, I'm
Okay.
going to search the audio in our chat room as well. I know it
Okay.
was put there, and okay, let me just see. And then you just go ahead, keep just telling people. So we're going to talk about
Absolutely.
that. We're going to talk about this whole Modern Union project because we have to talk about it. We're going to talk about the president's speech. I
Yeah.
believe that today we got money from $64 million, big money, big deal from the European Union. So we're going to talk about a little bit of what that's for. That was on my agenda. And then we're also going to talk about something of people nature. And I saw in Front Page Africa, they credit the Front Page Africa, that they had uh, a article about Dr. Samuel B. Reeves, and he was talking about healing the wounds of Liberia. He believes that before we can progress and move forward, we have to address some of our own pain that we are carrying with us. And I wanted to, open, my opening line for the show to be that. But if you give me, you just keep talking. Let me just
Okay,
give
Dad.
this.
Please go ahead. Let me also continue to welcome a few of our friends who came out after you did a welcome, and like Roman keeps trying to take a swing at AB Roman. He keeps talking about Dr. Richard. He doesn't know that AB is watching, but my man, I keep telling you, you look for trouble. But anyway, he said, "My beautiful Doctor."
Let me just come in. That's exactly what Amy was asking me about when he started laughing when I called your name. He asked me, he said, "Oh, Mr. Now we were talking about me last night." So I called his name. Oh, now you here tonight? Okay.
Now he is back again.
Amy watching, let me just let you know, okay?
I know,
And the
right?
interesting thing is CMC is having a holiday party, although it was going to be post Christmas time. And we still have to, collaborate with, the chair of the Philadelphia, Delaware, and New Jersey chapter. We still have to
Yeah.
work things out, the logistics out. But I think we offer our home. So, Lai, if you're listening, come and meet Mr. Richardson. You
No,
can
you know, Richardson. Let me just tell you that. Oh, I'm a man. Okay, I'll just stop there. I know Lai, I think Lai is just having fun, but I want to welcome Lai. Lai, thanks for joining us. You say you're from Philadelphia. You're in the Philly, Delaware chapter. So yeah, Dr. Richardson and Mr. Richardson are offering to host us there for our holiday get together. So if you have the time, you're welcome to join us there. Unfortunately, my wife and I will not be there, but we'll be with you guys in spirit. I'd like to welcome Kareem
you're the one who
Coleman.
probably wait for to have the program. I say it will be post holiday program. So
My wife said,
you know how we gonna be
we're
doing.
not coming until mid January. We can't keep you waiting the whole time.
But at the best time when the end of January because by that time you will have more money on us more.
You say, okay. I mean, we would love it if you guys do so. I didn't want to hold you up, but if you guys can, we'll appreciate it. We want to come and hang out with everybody.
Of course.
Come and hang out with our chapter. We'll appreciate that. We'll talk about it behind it,
Yes,
behind
it
in the
is.
back.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that would be great. And also we'd like to welcome. Let's see here, Kareem Coleman. I've already welcomed Kareem. Roland G. Tier. Roland, I believe you and I spoke 2 days or so ago. I think you were our appointment in the Margibi Kakata area. And so thanks for joining in, Roland. Chevro F. Chevro said, great job. Thank you for joining us, Chevro. It's nice of you to be here. So welcome everyone. Tag a friend, invite a friend. Come on. This is Friday night. It is an open mic night, so anything you want us to talk about, you can put it in the comment section, and we can pick up on it. But tonight we will talk about a few things we already mentioned. Those Doc is trying in the back trying to cue some of the stuff, but with the president was out today, besides I think he opened, I think NASCAR or one of those places, but before he did that, he made a stop over at LBS. Where he sat down and finally addressed the press on in wide range, ranging issues. Again, we will talk about that in detail. The whole process, why we thought he did so, and how we thought, he did. So we'll talk about that. And then the political leader of the CMC. was out and about today, doing what CMC does. Being a part of developing our country. He was in a district, as I indicated. The read up we got was that he was in district number 8, and I believe the Honorable Prince, what's his last name? Prince Don. I think that's his name. Apparently, he's a sedition. But Musa Azambility said, when it comes to engaging projects and developing our country, especially his county, his development knows no borders. CMC development knows no borders, no boundaries. So the fact that the gentleman who invited him as a chief launcher at this program, there he is, there it is. So that's the program that is showing on the screen there. Yeah, he was in that district. The guy, I think he's a sedition. I think he made that clear. Not only that, the district is not even in his district, but they were there to launch a fundraiser for a clinic that I believe this honorable has built or so. And so we went there. CMC made representation there, and of course we made contribution initial. We'll talk about that in detail, and thanks Dad for bringing those photos up. So there are a lot of stuff we'll talk about tonight. We're waiting for our colleagues to join us, and we're going to make it a fun night. Who knows if Ansu and Henry they don't fall asleep because we know it's pretty late in Monrovia. My brother this time take a call or two, but tune in and again continue to stay with us. We want you to call a friend and invite a friend to join us. We will talk about if we have time. Last night, if you remember, Mr. Cooper and I were on. We have Mr. Sam Jackson call in and talk about a number of things, depending on how much time we have, the Oriental deal is now, has now passed the Senate, so it's on its way to the executive mansion. And once the president signs it and the printing handbill, it becomes law. I'm not sure if that's what I think when the budget do that too. But anyway, the point I'm making is that bill has passed. There are a lot of people who are not happy about it. We display the voting, atmosphere, the scene on the floor of the Senate. Some of the senators were very vocal. Blackwood Brown,
I vote yes to all.
Yes.
Julius Smith, and
Senator Anthony.
Yes. I vote no to all.
J. Blackwood Brown.
As long as this important
yeah, and that's what I was talking about. I think that is Q&A in the back there. So yeah, they made it very clear on the floor why this deal is not a good deal. Besides that, Senator Conner went about and actually wrote on his page, what he saw wrong with this. Dr. Richardson also released. She does these very, very informative, snapshots of important events, such as that bill, why it was a bad bill.
on this floor, I vote no to all.
That is the floor of the Liberian Senate, voting on the Oriental bill as well as the Total Energy bill. And the CMC political leader also voted against that Oriental bill and voted against the Total bill. He says he liked the Total bill, but he had to vote because this bill was tagged onto, it was combined. They wanted to pass the bill in bulk instead of passing them separately. So if we have time, we'll talk about this again and what it portends for our country. Mr. Cooper indicated yesterday, I think he's done a little much deeper dive into the petroleum law of Liberia. He brought a lot to the table last time. I didn't know that they couldn't sign a contract for more than 7 years.
Correct.
Yes. And this deal is for 10 years. So what does that say? So we'll talk about all those. Doug, welcome back. I was just trying to, keep it going.
Thank you. I'm struggling to find this video. So if you have it, send me.
Okay. All right, then go ahead.
Got so many CMC chat rooms.
Yes, I think I saw it on Facebook, but let me see if I can bring it up quickly. I will send it to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you just join us, thank you again. We just want to show you the happenings in our country so you can have a visual and also a verbal understanding of what is going on in our country. I know that all of us are interested in making sure that Liberia is, thriving. Liberia is a place, that we can go and relax. Is to the point where, some other people are even kicking us out of their country. you know. So okay, good. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna actually let Mr. Oh yes, great. Thank you. I got it.
you're welcome. Yeah,
Yes. So
so
let me just cue this in, and then I'll go back
absolutely.
to the back again and do that. So,
Okay.
we apologize. I'm sure you like this show. Is not, perfectly organized, but we're working on it. We're getting better. So
Yeah, and that's part of the fun we're having. We're not journalists. We know we're not professional people. But we're here trying to pass out, the CMC message, and then try to also unpack some of the developments that are happening in our country. So bear with us. Doug is telling you, we're doing our best here. But I'd like to also welcome Chris Boa. I remember you were here again last night. It's good for you to have joined us. Dr. Richards in the back. I know you will read your comments when you come back because your comment is directed to her. Good evening there, Dr. Richardson, but it's good for you to come and join us here. So yeah, we'll talk about these things when that comes in. She's queuing some of our stuff. Again, we're waiting for our colleagues. Hopefully, Dr. V, is a young man. He has kids, and they're always playing sports here and there. So maybe he will find time this time to join us. Dr. V, I mean Dr. V. Yavulole is on schedule tonight. Winston is also on schedule. I don't know. It must be pretty late in Kigali right now. I hope he didn't fall asleep. Vicky, our chair for the Continental USA and Canada, Vicky is also on schedule. So hopefully she will join us tonight. And Mr. Toby, we already indicated he's supposed to be the moderator. He said he was supposed to meet with one of our vice chairpersons, so he's running late. And so we expect them to join us here. I think it's going to be a fun night tonight. We'll have a lot of good time discussing these issues. They all come in with a lot of, we're just talking about Mr. Cooper, Winston, and, you know, the added piece of information that he brought that I was unaware of about the petroleum law of Liberia, and how it limits, you know, um, the amount of years that can be signed, it can be contracted out for at a time, not more than 7 years. So we'll talk about that. Then, we talked about, the sign up bonus. This is something that's supposed to be released within 30 days of the signing, but I think the sign up bonus for this agreement, again, that put out a little bulletin. She indicated that on the two, I think this is spread over 4 years. I mean, why? You know, And if this company that is supposed to be undertaking this major project cannot front, what, $15 million or whatever it is, that is a major red flag. You know, they gotta go out in the field and then look for it. And then what is it that we're giving these people? But anyway, so we'll talk about this tonight. Again, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Continue to hang in there. Um, Mr. Gilman is usually interested in the weather, but since we're waiting, let me tell you a little bit about what's happening on my end, and then I'll tell you the weather in Monrovia. So right now, I live in New Jersey, South Jersey. I know you guys you use Celsius, but over here we use Fahrenheit. So right now, so on the on the on the Fahrenheit scale, you are on the Celsius scale. I think 0 degree is the freezing point on the Celsius scale. Over here, 32 degrees is the freezing point on the Fahrenheit scale. I'm just trying to give you an idea. So over the past 2 days, um, we've been having temperatures around um, 16 degrees, but there's the actual temperature, and then there is what it feels like. You combine, the temperature, with, the wind and all of that. So right now, even though it's 41 degrees Celsius, I'm sorry, Fahrenheit, but the feel like temperature is about 30 degrees, which is below freezing. So right now but that is good temperature compared to what we've had over the past few days. So for those of you in the Monrovia area, around 11 p.m., 11:56 p.m. Uh, it is 80 degrees. So the boiling point here on the Fahrenheit scale is 100 degrees. So you guys are 20 degrees below boiling. Um, uh, I hope I'm not mixing all my degrees here, but I think on the Fahrenheit, I think it's 212. I think it's 212. I gotta check it out. But right now you guys are around, on the Fahrenheit scale, you're around 80 degrees, but it says it feel like 88. So it's actually it's cooler than it actually feels in Monrovia. And over the next few days, the rain is not that much in the forecast. Monday, there's a 44% chance. On Saturday, which is tomorrow, there's a 24% chance. But Moravia, by the time it hits 20%, it's already going to rain. So there's a 24% chance. Same as Sunday. And then it increases to 44% chance of rain on Monday. Tuesday is about 50%. Wednesday, 63%. Thursday, about 53%. So there's a lot of rain in the forecast, you know. But I just wanted to kind of, entertain you on some of the weather. It means a lot to us here because you got to know what the weather is going to be like before you step outside. You got to dress. You either dress properly or you embarrass yourself. You get out and maybe it's too cold and you didn't dress properly, you freeze yourself up, or you overdress and you begin to sweat bullets when you should have dressed appropriately. So we always pay attention to the weather, whether it's summer or winter time. You gotta always watch it news. So almost everybody has the weather on their phone. You keep checking that thing several times. Sometimes there's an alert. There's a hurricane, something coming. You gotta be aware. So we pay attention to the weather. But let's come back to what I think most of you are more interested in. So we'll talk about the president's visit. And when that comes, you will join us. So the president today, we don't know what the motivation was, but for almost 2 years now, because this is January, I think would have made him 2 years in office. I think this is the first time that he ever sat down with a journalist for more than 25 minutes. I think today he may have sat down for pretty close to 2 hours. you know so we're trying to figure out, what is it that the president, what was the motivation, what is it that he was trying to achieve, what was the message. And so there are a few takeaways, and I will begin, and then when that comes in and our colleagues join us, I think we'll also talk about those. So the president went to LBS today, and he took questions from journalists. I know Timash Jirale, but I think there were two other journalists. I think one Vafli and then somebody called the other names. Those are younger folks. I don't know them well, but so they sat down, and the president also had sitting behind him some very powerful people. He had the Minister of Information, sitting there, the Director General of LBS, sitting there, the Minister of Deputy Minister of State for Press and Publicity, I believe that's the title. Mr. Anthony Kessley, he was there in attendance. The president's legal advisor, Councilor Bushubin Keita, was in attendance. The president's press secretary was also in attendance. So it was a pretty powerful and intimidating, gathering. And I have to say, as much as I am with the CMC, I got to give them the props. I think whoever thought this up, I think it was a good idea. I think the president should do it more often. We'll talk about the substance of what happened, but just the gesture alone, I think coming out to meet and talk to his people, communicate to your people what it is that you really want to do, what your challenges are, where you wish to take us as a country. I think that's something you should do more regularly. So I want to commend them for bringing the president into the Senate with the press and to do what he did. So, but he came in today, and again, he didn't come in with any specific topic in hand to expand on or to talk to us about. And so he took questions from the press. He even took some calls. So one of the questions that one of the callers asked the president about the economy, um, he talked about the fact that you know uh, people are still using dual currency in Liberia. And we all know that you walk in the store, they tell you the price. There is the US dollars price, and then there's also the Liberian dollar price. And so, and this person was saying, but most of the local people don't they don't handle US dollars, and so he was expressing, concern about this, and the president was not prepared for that question. He didn't anticipate it. You know, I thought I thought that was a good opportunity for him to explain the economy, what is happening. It's the president said they will look into that. I believe that was his answer. So he was not he was not prepared for this question. I thought coming to sit with the press for the first time for a major interview, I think his handler should have prepared him on some of these very, very important topics, such as the economy. So he didn't have much to say about that. Dr. Richardson talked about reconciliation briefly, and another caller called in. They were concerned that the president seems to have spent a lot more energy reconciling with the dead. I think he met, the burial of the two former presidents, Talbot and Doe, uh, without um, any effort seemingly being made, to reconcile with some of his opponents. We all know this country is evenly divided. You just have to look to the election results. The, the winning percentage between the president and the former president, I think it's less than 20,000 votes. I think 70,000 or so. I'm not sure. I think so. It's a very small percentage, less than 2%. So it is a clear indication that the country evenly supports the president and the opposition. You know, so there was that question, and the president apparently did not also expect that question to come, so he was not prepared for it. Um, and a lot of people have made that point that the president, when the elections are over, you win the presidency, you become the father of the nation, right? You're the president for everybody, not just those who voted for you. So you try to reach out, and broaden your umbrella, bring in, members from the opposition community as well. And a lot of people have made a point that there are some very good people in the opposition who could help this president, and I think they're willing. They're willing and ready to help if he makes the call. Who are some of the people that come to mind? Alice Cummings is one of the people that come to mind. Alice Cummings is a successful international business executive. He could be helpful in helping the president of the country, rallying support for the country. Musa's ability is a proven businessman. He could be called upon to help. How is it that he could be so successful as a businessman in Liberia? Benana Yuri is there. Yuri is a businessman, successful businessman, running his farm, and I think the cell phone, I think he was into the cell phone business. So there are a lot of people that the president could, the former president, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she's there. She has a lot of very, very, strong international appeal. She's still, she's aging, but she's still there. She has connections. She has people she knows, and they know people. The immediate past president is there. George W. Weah, George Manuel Weah. Uh, George Manuel Weah was not just president of Liberia. He was an international superstar before he even became president of Liberia. He's a sports icon. He knows a lot of celebrities. He could also help. So again, politics. When you win, and you got to throw out. You got to what they call it, magnanimous in victory. I think that's the expression. But yeah, when you win, you got to be generous enough to bring in those people Even if they didn't vote for you, but you bring them in because you want the brightest and the best, so that together you can move the country forward. We have complained about the apparent lack of outreach by this president to help that is available for him. We think that he can tap into, and there are other business people. Simeon Freeman, he talks about, he has some ideas. All of these people are there. We think that these people, they can be brought on to help. So, but the president did not expand on reconciliation. Mr. Tove, hope you're feeling much better. It's good to have you on set.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Sorry for rushing. A
Yeah.
little bit late. I had to catch up with Honorable Melvin Cole on something very urgent we were trying to settle.
Okay.
But thanks for responding to the request to start the show. I'm happy to be with the team tonight. Much better. And I'm good to be here. Let's hope you are doing well as well.
Well, thank you. I am. It's been a wet day here on my end, but other than that, all is good. Thanks for joining me. So Dr. Richardson is here with me. She's in the back trying to cue some of the media that we may be playing later on. So she's here with me. I think you saw the schedule. We're also waiting for our colleagues to join us, Winston, Vicky, and Dr. V. So hopefully they join us. So I was just talking about the president's press briefing today. I know you're a busy man, so I don't know how much of it you heard about or you saw. And I was just going through a couple of things. I thought you should have come prepared to talk about the economy. I think it was a missed opportunity. As a matter of fact, he was giving an olive branch to talk about it again. A caller called him to talk about the fact that the country is still using dual currency and how majority of the people don't have access to US dollar. But the president said, that's something that he would take under advisement. So I was talking about again the apparent lack of any serious attempt at reconciliation. Most of the people who contested along with him are in the country, but we don't see any major move being made to reach out to them. In the spirit of reconciliation. So, but let me give you, the space there and see what's on your mind while we get ready. Tonight is open mic. I think you know that. So, we'll just talk about major topics.
Yeah, thank you. I think you said a lot about what actually transpired today with the president, media engagement. And by the way, since the last 2 years, almost 2 years of President Buakai's administration, um, this was his first uh, long media interaction, except for those engagement he would normally do upon his return from his travel. But today he had the opportunity to speak to the nation through the state broadcaster. And let me say thanks to the guys who were told to join the state radio to do the interviews. Timas Janate, Kevin Demid, and Vavle Kamara. I'm sure they did well in their space, affording the president the opportunity to speak to the people of this country. And there's been a lot of different takeaway from the president message. We all are aware that the message or the president addressed today was not his annual message. So again, we know that once it is his annual message, we will hear a lot about the economy, the state of our foreign policy. So there's a lot of different things that come with the annual message that is now being worked on, because I know the ministries, agencies are now reporting their component to the team that normally work on the president's annual message. So by this time of the year, they are presenting the various reports that will be captured in the annual message. But for today, uh, the president, in my mind, thought to bring some conversation again that many Liberians has talked about. We talked about it here, and we are all stayed in doubt. And I'm not sure the president helped us today in any way on this. Let's talk about FOIA development.
Yeah.
To hear the president of the country tells the nation that, by the way, the project started unknown to him.
Yeah.
He weren't consulted. So if the project is now claimed to be a MRU project, how did the MRU require the facility and to start the project? And you kept hearing the president say it will be financed.
Yeah.
The project is almost to the finishing component.
Yeah.
So how has it been financed all along? And to reach the point it is. So we haven't gotten the actual story of that project. So if the president of the nation were left out of the conversation until the project is 85, 90% done, and he's telling the nation today that it will be financed. So who's now doing the pre-financing of the project? How much more other organizations are putting into the project? How much is being generated from the partners, the national, international, and private people, towards the project? There haven't been a total full disclosure on the entire FOIA project, and the president did not do any good to me in that direction today, because again he's opened a can of worm. We are still asking the questions. The president is giving us an incomplete statement. His ministers haven't said anything genuine about that project, and the president came out today saying he got his personal project in FOIA, the one being used by Samaritan Purse. He want to reconstruct that. So the project in FOIA, now we know that it will be financed by MRU, but it's already being financed. So who's pre-financing the project? Where's the money coming from? If the three MRUs country are to make contribution to the project, but the project is in a phase of completion, where is the pre-finance fund being raised? And I think all of those things are questions we are still asking. Maybe muted, right?
Yeah, you
Upon
got
the
me.
president, upon the president, maybe in his annual message, we may get something clearer than what we got today. But I think he did not do justice to all of us, and we are all still in doubt.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Toby. Yeah, good points there. And I said to myself, I don't know which is worse, on the fact that the president came claiming not to be aware of the origins of this project. He said if people knew, he would be resentful of that, so they didn't tell him. And so my question is, now that they have told you, what are you saying about it? So what is worse, the fact that you are unaware of what is happening on your watch? Because $6 billion, some say 10 million, that's not a small project. So the fact that you are unaware of this, or the fact that you found out and you are unable to stop it, it means people are overriding your objection to not to continue with this project. So I don't know what to make of this, but yes, you're right. He came in and said the journalists, I think it was Tim Max or one of them, who pushed on it once to ask him who the they. He sidestepped that question, but who are the they that he's referencing? Who would know other than the Minister of State? He said he doesn't know about it. The Minister of Public Works, who is in charge of clearance and issuing permitting these kinds of constructions, is unaware of it. his press secretary, who is supposed to come out and tell us what is happening in the president's office, is unaware of it. So who are the people he's talking about? The MRU people have come out and said, no, this is not being financed by them. So I agree with you. I think he didn't do the topic any justice today. I think he would have come with a lot more clarity. Again, that is why we keep asking what was the motivation of him coming to say with the press, because he didn't bring any clarity. He came with no clarity on the issues. There are a lot more questions still lying in the wake of this project that are yet to be addressed. And I think he just made it worse today. He kept saying they, but who did they? The people, I think the people have the right to know. $6 million is it's not any chump change for you and I. You know what I mean? You and I, we didn't even get in it with it. So nobody can just throw $6 million around and say, yeah. So welcome back, guy. Mr. Toby is here with us.
Yeah, so let me just push a point, then that will come in, just stayed on the subject matter of what the president said on today, and on the point you raise. As a president, uh, will allow a very serious infrastructure project, to start in the country that he is the head of state, and not being in the know until the project came to a stage when Liberians started raising the issue. After hearing several contradicting statements, the Minister of Public Works that should be giving a blueprint, to qualify the project, has no idea. The Minister of State went for confirmation hearing. He could not speak definitely to the project in FOIA. The press secretary could not give us a vivid account. The Ministry of Information had their own side of it. And now the president of the country said he weren't in the know when the project started.
Yeah.
And the justification that the project is not in his name, I'm not sure Liberians are concerned as to the naming of the project, whether it is his retirement project or whatever that is being attached to the project. Doesn't matter. What is concerning to Liberian is how the project got to FOIA. And now he's giving us an understanding that we are preparing for conflict. He's making reference to election in neighboring countries. He's making reference to internal issues in neighboring country, and saying that Liberia, being the oldest African country, or maybe West African country, will be news to make intervention. Is the president telling us now that he's foreseen in the future that I don't know what you thank you. So I don't know whether the president is telling us that we are preparing a peace, a peace hub in FOIA, and whether there's anything that he is aware of that the war is not aware of. Is he saying that Sierra Leone will go into conflict someday? Is he saying that Guinea will go into conflict? Or is he telling us that Africa is about to go to conflict and Liberia will be the ground for peace? And for that reason, we should put a peace hub or a peace ground somewhere in the forest of FOIA or in FOIA, anticipating when those conflicts are happening anytime. We will now be holding peace conferences like people did in Akosomo, in Abuja, and in other parts of Africa when Liberia was at her own conflict. So, when the president said that we had to do these things because our position in the sub-region, we are the oldest African country, and Guinea is going to election, and Sierra Leone, there's been this internal conflict here and there, and we are preparing a place where we can have a reconciliatory conversation on bringing peace in the region. Is it sensing that there will be conflict in the region and Liberia will be hosting peace talks? If the president of Sierra Leone will drive into FOIA and the president of Guinea will drive into FOIA, but the president of Africa Coast will fly into Foya. So it means that there will be bigger things happening in Foya. Because to come to Foya from Africa Coast, you have to fly. So we are being told now that there will be the airspace that will be provided because of the facility in Foya. So there's a whole lot going on in this conversation, around this conversation, that we still need some clarity. So let me bring in Dad, you been following this as well. I know that you want to have your say about this. We are still confused after the president's statement today, and I know you can speak to it. Just understanding what you heard today or read from what the president presented to the Liberian people today. Dr. Francis.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Smith Toby, and it's also good to see you today, sir, on the platform with you. I want to play, because I like for Liberian people to hear what their leader is saying, and then before I can give my comment, I want to just play the video of him responding partially because it is not an entirety to the FOIA question. It's a 2-minute video, so let's watch it.
Is intended to be a hub for peacemaking in the sub-region. Mada Bio can drive through to Foya. The president of Guinea can come to Foya. Even if Cote d'Ivoire will be the only country that will fly. So the project there is an international project intended to prepare Foya as a place where we resolve these crises and making them very private by the president, people meeting there, international meetings will take place there. It's not a Joseph Parker project. In fact, it started without me knowing because probably they knew that I would have presented it. So it is not a private project. It's a peace building place. It's a place where the sub-region can meet. Heads of state can come there in privacy, meet to discuss regional problems. No matter what we do internationally, first and foremost, we must be able to take care of this sub-region, the Mano River Union. That's the project there. You go there, there's nothing there in my name.
So who's building it? So who's building that project? Is it funded by Liberia exclusively?
It's going to be funded under the Mano River. That means Guinea, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire will contribute to it.
But it's on already.
It's on. It's been funded.
Why didn't they tell you about the project?
Why they make it so?
Well, you know me, they know very well I would have resented initially because I don't want anything done there. And so they wanted to make sure. But you won't hide it from me. But it's not a private project, it's a national.
Well, there we have it in terms of, some of the things that you, Mr. Namwe, and also Smith Toby was addressing. First of all, as we can see, the president is predicting instability in a region where Liberia will have to play the role of peacemaking. Something that, as Mr. Toby said, is kind of news to us Liberians. So that's one concern. The second concern that I have is the addressing of this matter leads me to ask more questions than it gave me some answers, because first we heard that this project was built by seeking money from the Liberian people, business organizations, regional person funded the project. But today, the president told us that this project is funded by people the Mano River, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, and Guinea. And I heard him call those countries funded the project.
Yep.
So to be honest with you, when I heard him say that, Mr. Name, I went to the website, and Mr.
Yep.
Toby, I went to the website, MRU, to see if I could gather any information about this project. And I learned that the River Union do not even have their own headquarters. I know you think I'm joking. Actually, let me put this on because I like to speak to facts. It says construction of MRU headquarters. This is an organization that have existed for so long, and and it says that construction of the MRU headquarters is a strategic infrastructure project in at providing a permanent owned facility for the MRU Mono River Union Secretariat for over 50 years. The MRU Secretariat has operated without a dedicated headquarters, has posed significant challenges to its operation in long term. So, you can go and see the article there, but I just wanted to say that this MRU does not even have or in a process of building their own headquarters. But our president want us to believe that these group of people who don't even have their own headquarters are willing to build a 500 seat state of the art building. Okay, they are willing to fund it, and I didn't see. I looked over on the website. I didn't see them funding it. So what is this big secrecy? Why are people giving us so many different explanations to this one project? Somebody said, I think Mr. Nama said, $6 million or $6.1 million is no chicken change. It's significant money that could be prioritized to help our Liberian people, as opposed to, building a project because you are suspecting or insinuating that there will be conflict in the region. Because that's what it says. There's a peace conference center, it's a peace building mission that he's on. And so it just left me with more questions than answers. Yeah. I kind of felt that the president thought he was talking to stupid people. He thought that he was not talking to people who can read and write, who have a high degree of critical thinking and thought process. So he just thought that he could say anything and will say, yeah, maybe that's why the people are overriding his decisions. Because maybe they can go to him and say anything to him and he says yes. But we are not that brand of people. Liberian people would like to know. I would like to know more, because you cannot spend $6 million, which we didn't even see. You didn't mention it's nowhere to be found in the budget. No. But then you tell us that MRU is funding this project because they want this project. It's not on their website. Okay, they don't even have a headquarters of their own. They've been operating for 50 years without one, but they are choosing to build a headquarters in Foya. Make it make sense to me, people. That's all I have to add for that for now.
Yeah, that I know Mr. Toby will come in, but yeah, I mean, like we're all saying here, these are some of the questions that we think, are left unanswered, and you brought out that piece of information. The MRU is also on record denying. They're not just sitting by. They said no, we got no part to play in the project. How can the president not be aware of that and still come out today and say what he said? I mean, like you said, he thinks he's talking to fools, who cannot, read or research or anything, or he's unaware, he's out of touch, he's unaware of what goes on around him. How does he not know this? And now here you are. MRU doesn't even have headquarters of their own. They come to put us $6 million. They say $6 million, but some people say $10 million. Yeah. There's a whole question of what firm is building this thing. That is a major concern here. There are reports that the firm that's building the thing it belongs to his nephew. So, but all of these pieces of information will come out. They can do what they want to do, but the information will come out. I'm almost certain of that.
And we will talk about it not because we want Mr. Toby, not because we want to speak about this. It is because we are speaking in the interest of the Liberian people. That's what CMC stands for. That is our motive operation, okay? And so if you're going to tell us that it's time for us to prioritize $6 million Liberian people money, whereby people are still dying. You're not prioritizing healthcare systems. You're not prioritizing education. Then we have to ask more questions. So that's what I wanted to add, Mr. Toby.
So thank you. Thanks to the both of you. I'm sure, like we read this, we still got more questions because the president presentation opened more wounds, and that is why we are asking the hard questions. Let's hope in the coming days we'll provide or we'll get some more clarity on what the president said, maybe again from the executive mansion or from the Ministry of Information, of those who are so upbeat about talking about President Joseph Boakai administration. But if the president said continuously today, repeatedly today, that this project will be funded,
Right.
but the project is in progress. And the president went on to reiterate, and that's the question I hope we can get some answer, that the funding will come collectively from member states. So how much each member state will contribute to the project that is already at the tail end. So if the project will be, will be collectively funded by the member states. So the member states we know should be Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia.
Yes.
Now we got Africa's joining.
Yes.
So if collectively they have agreed to do this project, what is the collective contribution towards the project? Could the president say that to us today to ease all of what we are hearing and speculating about where the fundings are coming from? Could we also be right because the president said will be funded by the Mano River Union countries? He also went on to add, but how much each country in the region are contributing, or how much they have contributed? Because in the write-out, before the president came on today, we were talking here a few days ago about other organizations that they made mention of, national, international, private business people, or private institutions. So how much is being generated or contributed by each of the member states? How much is being generated by the international partners that are making contribution? How much are we getting from the partners that they are making mention of? How much is coming from the business community that have developed so much interest into this project that are making contribution?
Yeah.
If the president could briefly talk about corruption and his stance against corruption, even though he sees a project coming under his watch that he had no idea about, but the project has grown to the extent that it has now become a conversation in the public space, and we are still trying to find the source of funding. The MRU countries, the government need to tell us the individual contribution to the project that has reached this particular point. Some weeks back, we're talking security implication, because did the MRU agree that we should send our AFL to mine the place? We got state security on the grounds, preventing people access. How much security implication? When Samuel Doe was building the ministerial complex that is now today the Eden Johnson Sirleaf ministerial complex, when it was the defense ministry, it was a security property, but people had access to that facility. But we're building a complex in Foya that is being manned by armed forces of Liberia personnel or security of our state. And there's no other security from Sierra Leone there. There's no security from Guinea there. There's no security from Africans there, but we got Liberian security there. So if it is a minor railway thing, why are they not presenting or bringing their own security to join our security so they can keep a joint watch of the project because it has security implication? So let me come to you and Mr. Dangbe. Maybe you want to add up on that point.
Yes, thank you, Toby. Look, there is all of this that's going on, and then there is the very salient question of what happened to the OAU conference center. You know, that was a conference center, I believe, that was built for what for the purpose that the president and the others are expressing, to host, you know, gatherings of what the president is describing. The conference center is there, is in disrepair. $6 million or $10 million.
Yes, that's the. Let me just interrupt you a little bit. The Unity Conference Center in
Right.
Hotel Africa.
Yes.
That huge villa
Yeah.
has been there. It's
Yeah.
got destroyed during the war.
Yeah.
We've done nothing. The Lydian and the people
People
constructed it for
do.
us, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's been destroyed.
Yeah.
The facility, the land space, everything about that space brings different ambience, different
Yeah.
scenery to our city. But
It's
we
a whole.
left that space.
There is a whole conference center. Then, there's a whole village around that conference center. You
And
have.
we left that
Yeah,
and
we
took
left
the
that.
project out of the blue sky to Foya.
Yeah. You know, so it really it's difficult to understand, and I didn't they're struggling to explain it. Every time they try hard, they fall flat. But so those are the questions people are asking. Why couldn't they just go and remodel the conference center, which is already, I think it would have probably cost a lot less to do. I don't know. But that is the question. That's one of the questions we're asking. That conference center, it has, it's built for conferences. It is there. Then it has accommodations, various villas all around that place. I mean, that place, is sitting on top of the, is at the waterfront. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
Yeah, just
ambience.
along the Atlantic Ocean. So
Yeah.
let me hold you there, Mr. Nambe, because I want Dad to speak to something the president also said on today. We are just peeking into his answers to the media or to the journalists today. He said something today, and I want to see how realistic it is to have the president, say, I came in I came in to rescue Liberia. If the president says he came in to rescue Liberia, he says, my real job here is to make sure we give our people better life. If giving people better life is the real job of the president, and he came in to rescue the country, what are we having all of these drama around activities of the executive, activities, with budget? We're still having corruption cases and all sort of different things. How do we identify or drive in the president narrative that yes, he came in the country as the head of the country to rescue Liberia, and his real job is to make sure that the country, Liberia people or the Liberian people get better life. Is that realistic? Is that what we are seeing now, Dr. Frances?
It did not appear to be realistic to me. We mentioned the fact that the president is not on top of his game. He's telling us that he did not know uh, anything about this project. He's telling us that his decision, which was going to not accept this project, was overridden. It was overridden by, perhaps people in his government, or he said maybe other presidents. I don't know who. He didn't tell us who it was overridden by, but somebody who is astute and on top of rescuing Liberia from corruption would be, like up to task. Will know what's happening with the people of Liberia, not international. You won't be internationally dependent. I think I heard him say my initial issue will build roads and then other people will step in internationally. Our president is telling us that we should rely on international agencies, organizations. So how realistic it is to rescue the Liberian people when you, number one, telling us that we need to rely on international aid in the world where countries are even telling us y'all go back home, okay? Y'all go make your country better for yourself, okay? So people are describing our country as an S-hole country, our continent. And the president also told us one thing today too, Mr. Nama. He told us that he doesn't even listen to the radio.
No.
Okay. So,
Even though you're sitting at a radio station, state-owned radio station.
correct.
I don't know what I did to Fagon's, ego. The president
Yes.
doesn't listen to you.
Yes. So obviously, to a president who is managing or leading a complex country like Liberia, you will make sure that you're not only listening to domestic radio, you will be listening to international news. You'll be listening, trying to get all it has to be a daily briefing. You should have a daily briefing of information. But our president is out of sync with reality. And I hear people say 4 years for him. I like to see. I like to see, and we cannot be, it's not realistic for us to be aid dependent to fix our own country. It is not realistic. So I wanted to speak to answer your question. I don't think the president is realistic in fighting corruption. He's not taking 6 point something million dollars to build FOIA, as opposed to prioritizing healthcare and education and infrastructure. Why did they pick FOIA? In Guinea and Ivory Coast next to Lima.
Yeah.
I used
Yeah.
to go to Guinea. I also went to the Ivorian border as far as Ban, where I think Ban is close to the Ivorian border. Okay, so I don't understand his whole logic of building this whole issue in Guinea. So that tells me again that he's not on top of things in our country, even his way of thinking. So I just wanted to pass it on to you guys.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you,
So
Jack.
so
Go
yeah.
ahead,
So
please. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Nambe, you want
Yeah.
to speak to that because we're looking
Yeah.
at the realistic nature of the rescue sense of the president, and his real job, according to him, is to make sure he gave the Liberian people better life. But with everything seem to be going the way it is, we trying to find out how realistic the president is. Even though we can question, but we can also ask, some of the technical question if those comments from the president, are indeed realistic.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but wonder how realistic he is. First of all, is he listening? The international community is factoring into his budget. They're folding. Newsflash. Hello, Mr. President. USAID has already folded. Sweet relief is folding. And you continue to factor this people into your budget. What kind of international community is still depending on? So you need to wake up and smell the coffee. The international community is not going to be there. So that's one. And like you say, Mr. Tobe, yeah, you came to rescue. You came to rescue the people from lack of headquarters or a conference center. Is that really the rescue that the people need that you were elected for? And we all know here, rescue here, what does rescue, portray? It connotes emergency, right? There is a burning emergency that you came to alleviate. So 2 years running, you came to rescue us, and you're still trying to figure it out, And then there's this weird thing he said today, and I'm still trying to kind of contextualize it. He was talking about the reason for this this project, to host peace conferences, and then he talked about Ouattara going for his fourth term, and what does that mean? Do you expect that there's going to be, what is it? What was he trying to say by that? I don't know how you guys understood that. He anticipate that there's going to be an eruption of some kind of thing that will compel Liberia to intervene. Is he setting? What is he saying? Is he telling us that we should also expect him to go for his third or fourth term? I'm just trying to understand where the president is going with this. Up to now, I can't wrap my head around it. I don't even know how that came into being. And then so he talked about, that our country were driving and Africa will fly in. I don't know, man. I will pass it back to you guys. I have a few more things here that I picked up from that trip, but I mean from that press conference. But I will pass it back. My wife said I talking too much. I should give it back. She in the
All
back.
right. Thank you, and I'm sure like I said, when we hear the president say, he going to attend the inauguration of the Ivorian president, and then he's talking about election in Guinea, and
Exactly.
talking about situation in Sierra Leone, and then seeing the location of Fuya and giving us a justification in the mind of the president that the construction of that center that he had no idea about is indeed relevant, because it will be news to settle conflict, crisis, peace. We'll be negotiating with people. So you know that the president justification, even though
Yeah.
he had no idea about it, but he accepted it. If the president was very sincere, and this is where the sincerity aspect I keep asking us to talk about here, if the president had no idea about a project that he didn't want to go to FOIA, and that he got a place in FOIA that he will build for himself, for his retirement, to take all of the negative conversation from project going to FOIA, and in his observation, you know, he had the authority to stop it,
Yes.
but he didn't do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
He didn't do that. He allowed it after according to him, he got informed, and he was he got in the know of the project. The project has been ongoing. There has been no investigation as to why a project will start in his country without his approval, without the Ministry of Public Works approving it. Who, by the way, what is the blueprint? Who
Yeah.
approved the
Exactly.
blueprint?
They want to have a
They,
blueprint. Where is
they,
that
they,
blueprint?
they, they didn't hear asking people for blueprint to build bridges, asking people for blueprint to do roads, and we see a project, with 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 over 50 flats, and with conference center, with security feature and everything. But we are yet to see, there was no groundbreaking about that and everything. But there's something I just want to raise while we talk here tonight. When the president says, you know, he doesn't listen to local radio, he only listen to BBC and ELWA. So he listen to more gospel music and pastor preaching, and listen to Elizabeth Kohinin and BBC news people, and he doesn't listen to the news in Liberia. So how is this president running the country? By people coming and telling him verbally what they hear, and just misinterpret? He doesn't listen to the journalists, but he allowed them to interview him. Does that make sense? Dr. Francis, if the president say, I'm in the country, but I got no interest in listening to what the people say in the morning, what the journalists say about the country, what the common people say on the radio, what the suggestion they made to the president. The president doesn't listen to radio stations in Liberia. He listens to ELW, a gospel radio station, and his next choice of listenership for radio is the BBC. To hell with whatever the journalists talk in this country about his administration, he doesn't care.
Sad. This is not the president's first attempt to belittle or downplay, Liberians who are supporting Liberia. The president traveled to United States, and he told us where he made his clothes. He was not using Liberian tailor at the time. I think it was when he was attempting to be president. So we would think that he would be uplifting the journalists in our country by at least getting briefing from uh, organizations, journalistic organizations in Liberia. But he tells us that he doesn't. He's listening to ELWA. To me, yes, they have a combination of Liberia and maybe European and American way of presenting the information. And he's listening to BBC, which of course, covers international and maybe a little bit of Liberia. But his priority should be getting briefings from news agencies in Liberia so he can know how to rescue our country, as he came to say that he's rescue in chief, so he can know how to rescue us from corruption. But we see that this president, no wonder why, he's agreeing to build things and not know about it, okay? Because he's not on top of his game. He's not, nothing is making sense. So this is the person that we are setting up for another 6 more years. I don't know. It confuses me, Mr. Toby. It confuses me for our president to tell us in a world of where countries are pushing towards more isolationist tendency, and yeah, our president is even telling us he is listening to outside sources for news, number one, and he's asking us that, I think the first year he said I will build things in the country, but then I will also be very dependent on international organizations.
Mhm.
Okay, so by in essence, he's telling us like, I'm not interested in what Liberia or Liberians have to say. That's what he's telling us. So
Yeah, so that Mr. Namwe, so we all on the social media, we are, you know, fetching for news here and there for public consumption. And we listen to the radio, we listen to the talk show guys, they set the agenda. We listen to ordinary Liberians raise the issue of hardship and a corruption issue. But if the president of the country doesn't listen to the voices of the people, how is it being informed about the governance activities? Is it by the press secretary? So if he's not listening to the radio, I assume he's not even reading the newspapers to know what's going on around him. And so we are left with what is being reported in Ukraine and what is going on in Baghdad, what is going on in Bangladesh, what is happening in America are issues of concern to the president, because those are the news the BBC will want to report. If the president want to get stress free, he listen to Jesus, love the little children, gospel music on on uh, on on the ERWA, and the pastors go, okay, he's a deacon, so maybe ERWA will help to revive his stress and everything. But
Right.
the core politics of the country that has been discussed on high core radio stations, he doesn't listen.
Yeah, I will look. I'll try to be as generous as I can be, but I thought I was a little bit arrogant on the part of the president. Because it was very dismissive. And like you're saying, he's lucky that he's president in the age now where the citizen journalist, everybody is a journalist. It gives you an opportunity to get out of the bubble, right? To listen to what the ordinary people are saying. And everybody has a microphone now. You put your phone in front of somebody, you're recording. People are all over the place, giving him raw, unvarnished feedback that I think should be welcome as an opportunity for him to understand what is going on outside of the executive mansion. And so for him to have been as dismissive as he sounded to me, people say he's a very, very, modest guy. He's down to earth. But I thought that came across, as really being very arrogant. You know, he doesn't care what the people think. He's gonna do what he thinks is best for them anyway, even though he may not even be doing it right. But you have to be able to listen to the people, hear what the people are thinking, how they're feeling, what they're going through. Yeah, I heard him say, he grew up in Sunnyland. He slept on the floor, and so he understands, the pain and suffering that people are going through. But that was before. The issues there, some of the issues have changed. They're different now. You'll be surprised how many people complain about lack of, access to internet. Now everybody wants to be on their phone. People complain about data. You have to pay attention. Those are the issues that matter today. And so I thought I was really, and then, I was making fun of it, but I'd like to know what Director Fagon had to say about that. The presidency doesn't listen to, you know, he doesn't listen to his programming or whatever he does. He doesn't listen to BBC or EWA, and yet he went to LBS, to talk to the people. What does that say about him? Obviously, he knows what the people listen. He knows that. So I thought he was just being flippant, and I think I thought that was a missed opportunity on the part of the president. He was being very dismissive, and I think that was a slip up on his part. I hope you'll find an opportunity to correct that.
Mr. Nami, I want to come. I don't think it was a slip up on the president's part. Um, Perhaps this explains his frequent communication with the Liberian people because he does not know what is going on, despite the Liberian people are complaining. And even his vice president recently said the country is hard.
Yeah.
People are saying they don't even have people money to buy the goods. They don't have money to send their children to school. Their country is hard. So it makes sense to me why, like you when we started this conversation, you thought you were praising his handlers for at least allowing him to speak to the Liberian people. But if you listen to BBC, and as Mr. Tibbet said, listen to ELWA that sings one day at a time, because that's the song I remember they sang a lot of, like, okay. If you calm your stress by listening to one day at a time, Lord Jesus, then you will not know how other people are living. But why should you know? You have the country's cover at your disposal, where you can say, people can tell you later on that there's a project going on in Foya, and you did nothing about asking questions. How are we going to get the money? Is Liberia in the position right now to commence a project in Foya? You didn't ask any questions, but you went along, to get along with people. So then we should come and sit down today and say this president is here to rescue us, or he's here to speak to the Liberian people. I don't believe that. I think it was just formality. He wasn't flippant. He is who he is. I think the president has sent us enough mixed messages in this world, where he tells us he's for the Liberian people, but yet and still he wants a regime speaker. He tells us he wants good governance, yet and still he tells us hooligans put fire to the Capitol building. Okay, he tells us that he wants Liberia to invest in their own agriculture project. When we look at the agriculture budget, he's an agriculture president. He does not contribute higher to the agriculture budget. He tells us that he wants us to make our own money from our own resources. If we look at the Oriental deal, it was, some people are saying, only to please his friend Arthur Easy, who gave him an airplane to travel around the region. Okay, so I have mixed messages going on with this president. That's what I like to add.
I will not argue with you, Doug. I think you're right. I mean, otherwise, why would he so, he's insulated? I think, maybe you're right. That's how he is. But I was just kind of surprised that he would be so dismissive. But if you look at it the way you have, maybe it explains, some of what we are experiencing as a country. How is it you will allow Arthur Izzy, is Oriental back into the country? How is he not aware of what happened when he was vice president? And so I don't want to go off topic here. So that I agree with you. I think you make a compelling argument there. I think you do.
Very well, very well. I'm sure that we'll stick around the president because he's been in the news. He's giving us more questions that we're trying to find answer. But on the overall, the president, in my mind, looks very satisfied. He bragged today, and not many Liberians saw that. But when you hear a sitting president says, right now I got a job. The job I have right now is I'm the president, and so I'm not worried about 2029. And he said, I have repeatedly said this as well. Those who are outside and talking 2029 every day in 2025 should be left alone to do their talking. So he said, we on the outside, we're the less basic people.
Yeah.
So we talking about 2029, but he's already, the president. And so he's not worried about 2029. We who are in office now should be more concerned about doing our job now. 2029 will decide itself. Does that sound as a strong statement for we that outside that talking 2029? The president say it is our job to talk 2029, but he's doing his job. And we are the ones worried about 2029, but he's not worried about 2029. What's the take, Dr. Francis?
Yeah, I agree with him. He's not worried. Listening to ELBC and ELWA. I mean, BBC and ELWA. I'm sorry. You won't be worried about 2029. You got a job, like he said, and it's a comfortable job where you can perhaps drive a $90,000 car. When you told us that even if it costs you to take a wheelbarrow to work, that you would do that. So you have a cushy job. So you don't care about Liberian people. You in a selected few, in your circle, are beneficial of resources of the Liberian people. If he cared about the people, we will not be talking about. I think he said. I heard him say in this past couple of days, or perhaps today, that he was not going to go to endorse any hand pumps. He was not going to endorse hand pumps. I heard him say that. So what is he endorsing? Is he endorsing pipe-borne water that will come into our homes? Is he looking at the two systems of maybe using a water system in other developed countries? But that would be something I would learn from BBC if I was listening to BBC a lot. Like in other countries, they usually rely on pipe-borne system where water comes into your home. You don't have to go outside to go pump water. So the president doesn't care. He's the president already. Okay, so he doesn't care about his people. That's what I wanted to add.
Well, just picking up from that point, this is what he really said.
Mm-hmm.
He said he would never dedicate hand pumps.
Mm-hmm.
That the people deserve water towers.
Water towers, not hand pump. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you for
water towers and system after 170 plus years. But this is the president that went with Mo Ali.
Yeah.
So Babolo,
yes.
is that Babolo or somewhere?
Yeah, somewhere there.
And the president was somewhere in Nimba, dedicating hand pumps as a project. Today he's saying he would never go to dedicate hand pumps. He want to do water towers. A country as old as Liberia will have a president who's bragging. Yeah, we should have these facilities in our communities, in our neighborhoods. But it will surprise you to note that people are still drinking from creeks.
Yeah.
I have gone to Burma a few days ago. That I think you know Burma. The Hendy, that big river. People still drawing out water into the city, into the town of Hendy, because there is no hand pump. So as little as the president sees hand pump, it is as important for people in those towns and villages to have people stay toting buckets on the head and walking to the creek to fetch water and going to the river to fetch water. It should be a concern of any government. The Joseph Boaga administration, we agree. Yes, we don't want you to go to be doing hand pump, but hand pumps are necessary because people that stay drinking from creek, people are drinking from open source water in this 21st century in a country that is over 170 years old, with all of the resources in our country. We are still struggling for safe drinking water. And our president would now want to dedicate hand pumps. He want to dedicate water towers. Where are the water towers? When we expect to see those water towers erected in those abandoned towns and villages that got representation that is not felt. People hear about their representative. I'm not sure they see them. They are struggling and they are drinking from open source and drinking from river.
Yeah.
And the president would not want to dedicate a hand pump. But let me bring you in, Mr. Nangbe. We already passed one. We got a few minutes to close the show. And let me have a take on this matter.
Yeah, and I hope we'll have time to bring our CMC news, so I will be short on this. I think the president, I was saying earlier before he came on, how he continues to contradict himself, right? Besides what you just said, where he said he's not going to dedicate hand pumps, and then you follow Moali, to Bapulu or wherever that place was, and they dedicated it in less than 1 month. The people were complaining, nothing was coming out of the place. So then the news broke. They say it cost $250,000, and then later on it cost far less than that. So that is that. So I heard him again today saying, people don't understand how government works. Sometimes some contracts take up to 2 years, implying that he's getting ready now, to get in motion, right? Well, this is the president who came here and told United Days he will make sure no car will get stuck in the mud. Was he not aware then that it would take him? I mean, this man who be in government, and today he read his CV. He came from LPMC to Ministry of Agriculture to LPROC. I mean, he's had pretty much every job imaginable. How is he not aware of these things? So he comes and tell us, people should be patient, we don't know our government. Well, like you're saying, put aside, you always say we know what we're talking about, But Mr. President, you're the one who continue to contradict yourself. What was he depending on when he said no car will get stuck in the mud within the first 90 after 90 days coming to office? It's been 90 times 90 times 90. We're still getting stuck in the mud. So, but I will pass it there because I want us to have some time and talk about some of our CMC stuff, the political.
And Mr. Toby, I just wanted to also to add, if the president says that he's not going to endorse or dedicate hand pumps and he's going to engage in water tower, then we need to know why is the Liberian Water and Sewer Company is not contributing to the budget.
Yeah.
How is he going to engage in this building of water tower when we don't even know where that money is going in terms of or how is it being used? Today we were clapping when I believe it was the European Union that came to our country to give us $64 million to help us strengthen our budget. At this age in our country, we are still dependent, and this is what the president, I think, is getting gear for these aid dependency to come and strengthen our budget, help our agriculture level, our domestic revenue, mobility. Those are the things that they gave us this $64 million for. But my question is, if he's not going to dedicate hand pumps, is he going to hold the water and sewer company are responsible in terms of their finances and to be more transparent to the Liberian people to contribute to the budget so that we can build a safe drinking water for the Liberian people so that they won't have to go to places like the creek or the big river in Hindi to fetch unsafe water for them. They can at least have, hand pumps in their community, and places can have pipe-borne water coming into the homes of the people. I can tell you, I usually live in Painesville, certain parts of Painesville when I'm in Monrovia. And it pains me to see those students, waking up so early in the morning, pumping water in order to get buckets of water. Painesville is not far from the capital city, Monrovia. Suburb is the immediate suburb.
Yeah.
After you pass Monrovia. So Are we fixing that area as well? Are
Okay.
we,
I think the president passes through Pinsville to go to his house in rehab.
yeah.
Yeah, he goes to Pinsville to church as well. So
Exactly.
yeah, his church is right in the Pinsville suburb. So just around the Pinsville Town Hall, there's a
And,
church that he.
if it's a Toby, when I'm downtown Morovia on Newport Street, because I have property there as well. Newport Street does not even have pipe-borne water. I was there this past year. They have to have gallons of water. You find people pushing that
Yeah.
heavy
Push,
up the
push. I think they
down
call
the
it
Yeah,
push, push. Yeah.
and
push
I feel
push.
so sorry for
Yeah.
them. Okay, I feel bad. So if we're going
Okay,
to
so
talk about water and safe drinking water and hand pumps and stuff, we need to start exploring all of those things first. We need to
Yes.
start assessing.
all right. So
And
so let me
it's a
let me
typical
let me
example of what the people say, drive me sweet, right? But you gotta we want water now, but right now we need water now. We ain't got money
can
for
we
water.
get a hand pump now? That would be better
Exactly.
for
Can we
us.
at least get a little help pump?
Okay, so let me hold the both of you at this time because we are left with
It's 11.
somewhere around 19 minutes to go tonight. So let's close the show tonight the CMC way. We've talked a lot now about President Boakai and his comments today and everything he said. There's a lot still to touch, but I know um, as we move into the weekend and back in on Monday, maybe we'll have more development. There's this developing story. Every time the president speaks, several analysis and more questions come about. But today, we're closing with the CMC because the political leader drove out of town today. He's gone to a district in Nimba, specifically
Excuse me, just when I do have a tape, so when you're ready, just I can put it on.
yeah. So as soon as I'm done, I will ask you to roll that tape, and then we'll hear his remarks. So I'm just giving a picture of where he went. It was based on an invitation, and this is one time the PL had to drive to a functioning Nimba to return to the capital. So it tells you that he's not prepared to go for Christmas into Nimba yet. I'm hearing that yes, apparently he may spend his Christmas in his district, but as to when he goes back to Nimba, that is left with his protocol. But it was a very unique program because again, the CMC with development, it is not possible for the political leader to turn down those invitations. And so he's gone today to grace an occasion, and he spoke that very well. And so let's take a few minutes of our time while we're preparing to close. That will play that clip, and we'll come back and give our closing comments after we listen to what the PL said today at the dedicatory ceremony there in Yasron in Nima County.
Yes, I want to play that tip. I just want to say that I was rushing to do it, so it's not perfectly done, but you hear something.
We want to thank you for your presence, and to Honorable Don and Mrs. Don, we want to tell you how proud we are of you. We are very proud of you. You are a politician. We are all politicians. And you are a politician with a development mind. So I believe that your journey should take you to CMC, where development is the basis for politics.
They're recruiting.
In CMC, we do it and then we ask later. And that's what we see you doing. I want to tell you thank you. I'm really pleased to have been requested to launch this very important project. And I'll do so feeling very, very good in the presence of some very enterprising Nimbayans. And I say this to Honorable Prince Howell. Honorable Prince Howell, we are very proud of you in our county. We're proud of you because, again,
Sorry.
to launch this program, we're doing so on behalf of our political organization, the CMC, and here as the political leader, and also Mr. Larry Yonkwe as the vice chair. Our contribution to kick off this very important project. The reason why this project is important is because nothing, from what I know, nothing is more important than the health of our people. Even the role we face, health is more important than that. And when we see someone doing health, we are automatically attracted to that. As CMC, we are automatically attracted to those kind of development. And so on with down, anywhere you have your development project, call on us. We'll be there. We'll be there. We want to do things differently. I think all of us that are Nimba are giving us so much. It's time for us to start giving to Nimba. And we will continue to give to Nimba as much as we can. So on behalf of the CMC, we will start with two donations to this project, which we believe is very important given what Honorable Dan just said. So our first donation will be 25 solar lights, which we hope will help you to do this. And to this clinic, Mr. Dan, I want you to know that it's not only for Yashno. Okay? The people from Banla can come here. The people from Cocoa Park can come here. We have villages all in this place here. You come. So you requested for one transformer to help you. So CMC
Yes, since Mr. Toby is not here yet, we want to start by just your reactions to the political leader, in Mansana district, Nima County today.
Yeah, first let me commend you. You know, you said that the recording clipping, might not be, but I think you did a wonderful job.
No money. That is our semi-editor.
No, I'm getting there.
Professor.
I don't know how to cut, I don't know how to cut clips yet, so I gotta give it to you.
I'm learning.
Yeah, well, you did good. Yeah, I quickly. I know we're almost there, so I'll comment it, political leader.
Yeah, so you say that we got 19 minutes, so you say that in 3 minutes that we start to wrap up.
Okay, so as we indicated earlier, he's in a district that is outside of his representation. The district he was in today is not a district he represents. He was in, according to the reporting, he was in district number 8. I'm sure Mr. Tobe will probably be able to confirm that. Also, he was collaborating with another person who I think is from the CDC, from my understanding. I could be wrong here, but this person as you could see, he was making the pitch. Yeah, of course, we want to recruit. We want to recruit. That's what we are about. So, but yeah, he is, he put aside, partisan politics and all of that, and he said, in times like these, it is all about county and country, and so he thought the clinic that Honorable Dan is in the project is a worthy project, and so he went in there to identify, with the people of Yasuna, I believe that's the name of the place, of District number 8. So I like to commend him and congratulate the CMC, and that is what we're about. He made it clear that that's what we do. We see, a need, and we think the people will benefit, and they're calling us to help. He was invited to go there and serve as the chief launcher, and so that's what he did. So congratulations to the CMC. I'm delighted that the PR was able to, cut across, district line and go and, and be of service to, the people of district number 8. They're all part of NIMBA, so NIMBA wins.
Okay, so let me just say something to that, then that will add up, and then we'll come back down and close if time will permit us. So there was a serious takeaway today from the PR representation. I like the way he spoke today, like he has always done. The healthcare center is called the Arcare Health Medical Center, and Roosevelt S. Down, like he read this, a supporter from the CDC. But he said today, yes, we're talking to you, and we're talking the way we're talking because we want you to come to join the CMC. And he purposely said today to the people of Yasonon, is in the Yasonon clan, is in District 8 in Nimba County. And today, the donation that the PR did in 2-4 the solar lights, 25 pieces, but something that the facility will really need. And he said, I'm doing this on behalf of the CMC, not as me, Musa ability. And that was very touching, because the name CMC should be the brand. And I'm sure that is our identity as members of the party. So when he said today, I'm giving this because this is what the owner or the person who put in the health center, Mr. Roosevelt Down, actually requested for. And so he said, on behalf of the CMC, we will donate or contribute to this facility, the transformer that is needed to get this place going. And I think that was remarkable. That was my takeaway from what the PL said today at that function. So that, what did you take away? And then we can close.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that, I observed that the program was very presidential. I really appreciate the people coming to do the cultural dance. The program was well set up. I appreciate the women dance. And I also recognized and saw that the PL talked about people who are in the CMC political party. We tend to be very developmental minded. And he said that he hoped the developmental mindset of Mr. Don would bring him over to CMC, and that CMC also aligns with people who want to develop their country. People who don't sit by and watch ELBC, okay, I'm sorry, and watch ELWA, and also listen to BBC. They don't sit down and
That's a good one.
in rescuing the country. They are in for rescuing the country. They're not saying that, oh, I'm president already, and also I have a job. I'm not thinking about 2029. Okay. They are saying, how can I develop the country? And I want developmental minded people to collaborate. Okay. You can come from a CMC, but as long as your journey is to develop a place for Liberia, and I tell you, I've been to it's called Mela Yasono District. Mela Yasono District. It's very Pierre took me, oh, it's behind, go back. And we drove an hour. I keep on telling Pierre, where are we going? And he just, oh, we just going down the street. But it is me. So I know where that place is, okay? And one thing I really appreciated also is the fact that he said he's thinking about the health of Liberians. Okay, health is so important. He said even the roles that I focus on building for you guys, if you are not a healthy, productive citizen of Liberia, you cannot contribute to the development of our country. And he focused on that. He was looking at, yes, the road will bridge us together, but a healthy Liberian will also be a gap that will be bridged. And that's what I really enjoy. And so I really appreciated the program. I appreciated him going to the Mela Yasona district. I appreciate the vision of bringing lights because lights that people will be able to see. That he mentioned at different towns. If you know anything about Nima, it consists of different smaller towns. And he said that this place will be a service point, a health service point for people in that area. So that was good. And one thing you also should know about Pierre, he enjoys recognizing CMC member. I saw him recognize Mr. Larry Yankwe as a CMC member who was in his present, and we experienced that when we were in Maryland. I'm sure you can attest to that, Mr. Nami. They were even calling him up to the stage, but he said, I have to greet the people first, my people first, the people that I know. So yes, he recognized the importance of Mr. Yankwe to CMC. So I appreciate it as well.
So let me say thanks to the both of you tonight. It's been a wonderful time. It's time for us to leave, and so that let me stay with you in 1 minute to say goodbye to the team.
It was a good show. I started the show by saying that I saw an article on Front Page Africa written by Reverend Dr. Samuel Reeves that talked about healing Liberians, and he talked about our responsibility, which is where the PL is moving, where CMC is moving, putting people's first. He talked about our responsibility is to be truthful about the way that we reconcile with each other. He talked about forgiveness without accountability is empty. And he also talked about unity without justice is temporary. So when we look at, if you are only, again, I want to close by saying, if you are only listening to ELWA, or if you are just listening to BBC, you are not focusing on uniting the people, because a lot of people are crying about the injustices that are happening to our people, such as the country is hard. That's what I have to add. I'm sorry. I went a little bit over my minute, but I had to say that.
Thank you. Mr. Nangbe?
I will follow my global. The president should remember he used to go on every little platform during the campaign time. I still remember him going on every little platform. That today now nothing about platform. All right, well, if you say so. Look, let me thank you, Mr. Tobe. I'm glad you're back on your feet. You're feeling better. Thank you for all that you do for the CNC. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. It's been a great night. I look forward to our retreat tomorrow. If you are here and you should be at that retreat, you honor my voice. You better not be late tomorrow. You better be prompt and come in. We'll have a good time tomorrow. But it's been fun. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thanks to the both of you. And again, it's been a wonderful night talking about our country. This is what we do here as often as possible. I sent you an inbox message, Mr. Nangbe. I had a dream, so I'm not going to explain that here.
I know, right?
I'm sure you saw it.
You saw it, right?
It was a gender restricted dream, and when I went to Mr.
Yeah,
Mr.
Nangbe.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Nangbe.
Yeah, so it's for me. That's why I'll respect that privacy, but it's not general restricted. But that his wish. So
yeah, that's it.
I had a laugh.
So again, yeah, again, thanks to the both of you. We hope to see you on Monday. We're working on our new schedule, so Dad and myself will do the conclusion on the weekend, maybe by the next week. We'll have our conversation on where we are into the new year, but there's a lot of good things coming up into the new year. But again, thanks to all of us. for the week. And we'll close this week. Hope to be back here next week.
Thank you.
See you all. Yes, good night.
Thank you. Good night. Let me just end to it.